So this is going to be day one of finding money plays so you don't have to. Let's start off with a new ticker I found that kind of has a nice little setup. It's called IONQ on the New York Stock Exchange. We just got this ascending channel. It's bounced multiple times, and if you don't know, you just need 2 touches up top, 2 touches down below, and you got yourself a structure. At the lows of this structure, obviously price pushed down, corrected here, and had another bearish push down. Price corrected here at the bottom and reversed, right? We got a nice push up, and we got a nice bullish continuation structure, right? A descending channel to follow that suit. Now, what we're looking for, and in my trading thesis, we could just go ahead and enter here, but it looks like within this descending channel, price is starting to round off here. And if I go down to a smaller time frame, you'll kind of see that. So yeah, price is rounded off here, maybe a really small time frame double top there. So, and even as I speak, price is pushing back a little bit. So you can be patient here. The best setup would be down here off this trend line. If it can come down, if it could give you a little nice triple bottom, head and shoulders, any type of reversal correction, that's kind of where you want to be getting in. Or when you see a touch of this trend line, if you want to be early, right? Because if you were early here, it would have pushed for you, and you don't really get too much of a time to get in here. But even still, like, you could still kind of just wait for it to start pushing back to the upside to kind of get your entry. So that's one of the new stocks I've seen. Just to go over some of our older trades. Zillow has started to pan out for us. I explained how I had an early entry before. It stopped us out. It went back up and touched up here, giving us some very good confluence. Go on the 15 minute. So this is a reversal candlestick structure where you have this large green and then an inside red candle. It's called Harami, or mother and child. And I'll give you an example if you don't know. Harami candlestick pattern. Images. Right, so bearish Harami. You have a green, and then you have the inside red, almost like mother and baby. That's what the nickname is. And so you have the green, the inside red, so you're playing the cells. And what's also cool about structure within structure, you'll also see candlestick within candlestick. The essence of a bearish Harami is actually a pin bar. So if I go to the hourly here, those 2 candlesticks inside of each other now are what looks like a bearish pin bar, right? So bearish pin bar, right? We know we're playing the opposite direction of a bearish pin bar. And with a pin bar, it could be green or red. You're just trading the opposite direction of the tail. So these are pin bars up there. It looks like this was a triple top with 3 pin bars, and then it pushed down. So just to zoom out again on this, give you guys a more high level update. Same thesis, overall head and structure. Going back down to this right shoulder. Right, this is a ascending channel on this right side. It breaks out of that ascending channel. It creates another ascending channel, what I would call a continuation structure. Basically, structure kind of giving you a continued thesis that price is going to continue to impulse in the same direction. So as we decide to play inside of structure to kind of hopefully catch the next impulsive direction, out of this structure, if this structure completes while we're in the trade for sales, we'll get a nice impulsive move, and that's where our big winners come from. So yeah, this is starting to play itself out. Like I said, I got in a little bit early on that entry, decided to play up into this structure. It pushed down with a bearish pin bar, and that was almost like an instant entry for me because very low risk. We see exactly where, and I'll hide this one to make it a little bit more clear. We kind of get to see exactly where our risk and validation period is. And our stop loss is very small, right? Because we get to see like it'd be about here. If price starts to really push against this bearish pin bar, we know something else is going on. But if price stays within the range of this pin bar, the top of this range, which it did, it had one candlestick close right at the top, but none since, and then pushed down. And that's only been a day, so we'll see. Let this continue to develop. Our next ticker that is playing out well for us is Bank of America here. And just from a higher time frame, I already have a lot of the analysis up here. We got an ascending channel, just the kind of instant replay what's gone on since December. You have the completion of this ascending channel right here, right? Not only that, within that structure, you have another ascending channel. What I know about ascending structures versus descending structures, ascending structures typically will break out to the downside for great value, right? If a structure is ascending, right? And it gets to the top of that structure, it has much more momentum to kind of crash down to the outside versus when it's going from bouncing up to try to break through the upside. It has to usually get some sort of strong news catalyst to kind of break up to the upside, or a really strong stock. So like I said, ascending channel and ascending channel within ascending channel. At the top of the higher time frame ascending channel, gives you a nice little double top here, crashes out of that inside ascending channel, crashes out of the higher time frame ascending channel, but it corrects here, right? Gives you a correctional reversal structure, gives you a descending kind of wedge, and then breaks up to the upside, and then comes up here, and then this is actually a ascending wedge now, or ascending channel. Not only that, it gives you a nice little double top again at the heights of this previous high, right where this was, making a double top. It breaks out, gives you a nice little channel over here. Now we could picture perfect a head and shoulder here, right? Left shoulder, top, right shoulder. And then it breaks out. It breaks out of that and it comes up and retests this bottom continued trend line, right? It retests that and gaps down. So creates a strong bearish rejection here. Strong bearish impulse, and then we also have another, hide this. We have another kind of, I would call this a neutral structure, when structures kind of move just left to right. And usually when you want to play, how you want to play neutral structures is you want to play them as continuation structures, right? We got these continued push downs, continued push downs, continued push downs. We're looking for that next push down. And so we got a really good entry at the top of that neutral structure. We even have a nice little pin bar here. And we decided to kind of enter off of that formation, and we got a nice gap down today. It's pin barring here, but hopefully it's more of a retest, hopefully, right? And if it is, starts to push back against us, we'll just keep our same stop loss, right? Just above here is our probably invalidation period for this trade. because if it breaks out, let's just say it breaks out here and gives us a continuation structure, like it wants to keep going, that'd be like a reason to cancel the trade. Even if it breaks out and hits our stop loss, that's our invalidation point, because it's just above this trend line here. And then this trade is already going. This is SAP. This is a paper trade for me, and even the entry I hid was a paper trade here. Just for transparency, I went over SAP 2 days ago, but look at that strong. This is a weekly bull pin bar here. So I'm not actually in this trade yet, but it's giving me every reason to get into this trade. The only worry you have to have on the smaller time frame is that it's going to round off here. But in my style of trading, obviously you saw the paper trade, right? So on the paper trade, I saw this kind of developing as a bearish structure, or bearish reversal. Sorry, a bullish reversal structure, to where this was a strong bottom, this was a bottom, this was a bottom, and then obviously before any of this came, I was looking at it like this. So I was looking at this to kind of potentially continue based on the overall what was happening here. It decided to push down, right? And this is obviously a bullish channel, right? It's descending channel. We're looking for breakouts to the upside. Let's zoom out a bit on the daily. We know that SAP, this was a old all-time high. It gapped up past that high. It came to this level. It was a resistance at first with 1, 2, 3 touches. It broke it and then came back and became a support with 1, 2, 3 touches of support. It went all the way up. It came all the way back to this support. And now it's not broken and impulse down through that support, but rather has started to chop right at that support. So that what that tells me is this hasn't been officially broken yet. It's giving me some bullish sentiment here. So, and even more so with this bullish candlestick, right? With this bullish pin bar. So that's another one you guys can kind of just take your entry as you see it. You could take it like how I have it. If it comes back down, you could get in today with maybe just a $50 stop loss. And if it decides to go, just hold on for dear life. Do not cut this trade early unless you see some type of bearish correction, right? If you see all of a sudden triple top happens up here, or you see head and shoulders start to develop, that's when you want to kind of really consider to shut down the trade, because it could come all the way back and touch this, and it might be 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you need to shut the trade down. But the height of the trade was somewhere up here. Ideally, you have those real home run hitters, and this trade obviously has a chance. If you're like a very long-term trader, you can start buying shares right here. You can buy a lot of shares and just hold on and wait for this to come all the way back up to retest all-time highs. If you're a leap trader, you could wait for this to come up and test all-time highs, right? You got that year or year plus on your side. But as a swing trader, I'm only holding for 30 days, maybe 35 days max. So I'm not looking to, I don't have the time. Price will almost make a $120 move in a month, right? So if it did, I'll probably a millionaire off of one trade, but it probably won't. So I'll just make my couple thousand off a $50 risk and be happy, right? Because what it can do, it definitely can make a $30, $40, $50 move in a month. So let's just kind of wait and see, right? And I believe that's all the stocks I want to go over today. I've kind of touched on these in my previous videos to kind of get things kicked off, but I'm probably going to just kind of go over top 4, top 5 stocks from here on out, and then start this series of Let me find the diamonds so you don't have to. Let me find the money moves. Let me find the plays, the money plays so you don't have to. How am I gonna do this? This is a good series. Let me find the money play so you don't have to. Day one. I found one for you just to recap. We got Ion Q. Very simple structure, right? I love good strategy with simple structure. I usually want to play these higher time frame moves like these ascending channels to the downside. So just be very careful if you're gonna make this trade. Let it come back and test the bottom. Let it come back and test the bottom. If it decides to break up and correct again, you could play more aggressively, but let this one come up and retest this bottom trend line so you don't get destroyed because it actually kind of just wants to impulse down and break down. So if this was a bullish higher time frame structure, I would say 100% play this aggressively, but let's be a bit patient here. And then, like I said, a lot of these Zillow trade you could kind of get into if you want to. Bank of America you could kind of get into if you want to. I would say be a bit patient with those two because they already made their gaps, their moves, a little bit of a move. SAP is kind of just gliding, so just get on the train. You know what I'm saying? You could get on the train for these ones. And then CAR failed against me. APTV failed against me. So we're just looking for APTV maybe to build up some more correction here. CAR is broken the thesis, right? This is a bullish time frame and it's kind of broken down against me. So bullish higher time frame, bullish medium time frame still broke down against me, but even still, I have a hunch that this is just going to be restructured like this. Right now, it's a very parallel channel. I would even say this is probably calls if it gives me the right structure buildup. But yeah, this might be a bullish pin bar here. And this might be obviously a Harami structure. And then you have the I don't remember the name of the structure, but you have a red, it's a reversal structure. Reversal candlestick structures, patterns, images. The one I am thinking of is this. So the evening star or morning, this will be the morning star. A morning star reversal, right? So candlestick within candlestick. A morning star is within a Harami or potential Harami. Looks like it's failing now, which was also in a bullish pin bar. That's if this price moves a little bit higher, right? That's how you'll see that. So you have structure within structure. You have candlesticks within candlesticks. The nature of top-down analysis, very simple. Few levels, maybe play off some levels, maybe not. And then structure, impulse, correction, and candlesticks.